I know the title sounds like clickbait, but I do mean it with complete sincerity. I believe this is the one product every single one of you watching needs to own. It's a dash cam. Again, I know the title sounds over the top, like something you'd see as an ad on X videos, you know? The 3 secrets doctors don't want you to know about having a big hog. You trying to lay down quality wood with that tiny pecker? No, you need to try this. Every man needs it. I know it kind of has that same energy, but I'm serious. I think the dash cam is the most important product you can ever buy for yourself to protect you, to ensure your own safety in like day-to-day commutes. And there's a great video I watched today that illustrates how it saved a man's life, just having that footage, because without it, his life would have been ruined because of people who lied about what actually happened.
A 6-year-old girl sent flying. It's a miracle she isn't seriously hurt, even killed.
I cut out the actual impact for obvious reasons, but you can see the father waddle on over there, jogging top speed to hit the hood of the car to let the driver know how angry he is. Because clearly that's top priority here. Instead of checking on the well-being of his daughter, you know, making sure she's alive, he instead, first thing he does, go over there and give it a little slap-a-rooski on the hood of the car. And then he goes and checks on his daughter. He's mad at the driver even though he was the one letting his toddler run around without any supervision, which would have been fatal if Muhammad wasn't paying so much attention to the road.
I wish I could have done better.
I think you did very well to stop as quickly as you did.
Yes, I tried to.
The driver's name is Muhammad, and he did an extraordinary job stopping as quickly as he did. Those reflexes, I know he plays Counter-Strike. Man fucking flicked onto the brake right there, ASAP. Like, the little girl basically spawned out of nowhere like a jump scare, and Muhammad had so little time to react. And he did. Like, I think that's about as quick as you could even register something like that. And he slammed on the brakes, which saved her life. The father wasn't watching the daughter. She sprinted out onto the road. Muhammad couldn't see her until she was already about to hit the car, and he still stopped in time. That is nothing shy of a miracle.
IT engineer Mohammed Danish was behind the wheel when suddenly the little girl darted out in front of him. Mohammed's fast reflexes saved her life. The girl's dad had his back to the road before realising what had happened.
Muhammad wasn't speeding, he was doing nothing wrong, and stopped as quickly as the human brain is even capable of registering something in front of it, I feel like. Because you can see, like, if you slow down that footage, there is a car blocking both the father and the daughter, and then as he's getting close to the car, then the daughter is visible running right in front of him, and he slams the brakes the second that happens. It's actually unbelievably impressive how quickly he was able to slam on those brakes. And yet, Daddy Dipshit is blaming Muhammad for this, even though he's just absent-mindedly going through chores without paying any attention to his daughter, not supervising her, which would have been fatal if not for Muhammad being so alert.
She's alright, she's alright.
Neighbours hear the commotion and rush outside.
How fast do you want to be going? 40, I was 40. I'm calling the ambulance.
Mohammed says some of the residents who came out turned on him.
Then they were like, you are going on 80, you must have been drunk or something, and you must have been distracted by something. How can you hit a girl?
Real quick, because I know when we're dealing with freedom units, people are going to get really confused. He's not saying he was going 40 miles per hour. That should be pretty obvious to people with eyes watching the dash cam that he's not going 40. That would be fucking zooming down that street. He's going 40 kilometers per hour, which if you convert it to the freedom units, it's about 25 miles per hour, which is the normal residential speed limit for pretty much everywhere, I guess. Like, most of the residential areas in Tampa are around 25 as well, so I'm assuming it's the same over there too. So he was not speeding or going like dangerously fast. Pulling shit out of your butt with this false statement is absolutely awful. This is why dash cams are so important and why I really believe everyone should have one. I have a dash cam. I recently got it like about a year and a half ago, and Luckily, I haven't needed it yet, but I think it is better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because in the case of Muhammad here, if he didn't have it, so many people are saying, oh, he must have been going 80 or he was drunk or distracted. And it's his word against the father and now the neighbors who weren't even there. They're literally just having like fucking like fantasy episodes in their head that they're playing about, oh, well, this is what must have happened. Like getting a magnifying glass out like they're fucking Sherlock Holmes here. Judging by the tire tracks when you slam the brakes, I can estimate that you were going approximately 77.6, repeating of course, miles per hour on this residential road. You were at fault. You almost killed this little girl. It's entirely on you. How could you have hit this little girl? Why are you drunk? Why are you... I can smell the alcohol in your breath. You've been fucking chugging absinthe. You have been sculling Jaeger bombs all night, haven't you? Like, you can't, like, save yourself in that scenario without the dash cam. Because there's too many people dogpiling you, even though you did nothing wrong. It is so important to just have that safety net.
He says one neighbour who didn't even witness the accident told police what happened.
He was giving the statement that I was going so fast.
But he never saw you.
He never saw me, no.
Whoever gave that statement should be in jail for giving a false statement. The person wasn't even there, and yet they're claiming they saw him going so fast. He was like a fucking lightning bolt going down that road. It's a miracle the girl wasn't fucking exploded into a million pieces like it's Team Fortress 2. Like, what do you... Like, it's craziness. It's actual unhinged lunacy. There are just people out there that are evil and just going to lie to the police about this just to fuck you in the face. Someone who was not even around to witness what happened is now making things up about it. Oh yeah, after he hit the girl going about 85 miles per hour, I heard him say that he wanted to finish the job, so he went to the trunk and he was getting out a chainsaw before the father put a stop to it. It was brutal stuff. This guy, throw him in jail, lock him up.
Mohammed doesn't want to think about what could have been if he didn't have dashcam footage to prove his innocence.
This video evidence really saved my life, because if the police listened to the statements, and I could have been charged guilty.
Thankfully, the little girl was okay, taken to hospital for a checkup.
He's not exaggerating either. Without that dash camera evidence, there's multiple statements from people making shit up about how you're the bad guy and did everything wrong, even though that's not the truth. Muhammad's life would have been ruined. It would have been over right there. That would have been a full-blown game over, bad ending credits roll. The dashcam footage saved him.
Lara Craven lives next door. She wasn't there when the accident happened, but has 2 kids and says she's been lobbying council to make the streets safer.
Got a lot of families on the street, children, getting in and out of cars. It's dangerous. I think we should first and foremost have speed bumps.
I thought this was worth including from the segment here. It then also brings out someone talking about how important supervision is over children around roads. But this street in particular does seem dangerous, and according to her, it is dangerous. You know, there's no speed bumps apparently. As you can tell from the dashcam footage, there's cars that are packed tightly there, which obstruct visibility, which is clear when you watch the dashcam footage, how you can't even see the father or daughter until it's like too late and you're right there. So that is just a recipe for disaster. And the speed limit is apparently 40 kilometers per hour. I would say personally, like, that's probably too fast for how that road is set up. Like, I would be going like 10 there just because of how scared I am of shit like that. But I don't think Muhammad was at fault even slightly here. He was obeying the road rules. Like, it is a 40 kilometer zone and he was going 40 or less. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. I do think that street is just particularly dangerous. And at the end of the day, if the father was supervising his child more, this probably wouldn't have even happened in the first place.
It was very hard for me for 3 days. Couldn't do anything. It kept replaying in my mind everything. I'm sorry for that girl, and I'm sorry for her father as well, how he reacted and everything. But I think it was his natural reaction.
Muhammad just seems like an actual saint. He seems like the nicest guy. So he's talking about, like, you know, how hard that was for him after that happened. Like, it was a really scary thing that he thought about a lot and still does. And then he talks about like how he still hopes that the daughter is doing well, and even says that he feels sorry for the father and that the way he reacted must have just been a natural instinct at what happened. Of course, it's understandable that the father would be really upset and panicking because something like this is traumatic. But he should have been able to recognize that he's at fault for not supervising his toddler, especially around busy streets. That is an extremely important thing to do. And I can only hope that he recognized that and apologized to Muhammad, because this could have been so much worse. And it's just extremely lucky that the little girl is okay and that everyone gets to walk away from this.
Even police told me it's not my fault. I was thinking maybe I could have done anything better to not hurt that girl. But yeah, the people's messages and comments, they were the thing, they really supported me.
Overall, it's extremely lucky that the child didn't face any life-changing injuries or anything like that, and Muhammad's life wasn't ruined because of people's false statement about what happened thanks to the dash cam. And I just thought that this was a really important video to show to people for why I think dash cams are a necessity. I'm actually surprised that in 2024 they're not standard in any new automobile. I feel like every new car should just come pre-installed with a dash cam because of how important it is to the driver's safety. Anyway though, just wanted this to be a PSA for everyone out there. Get a dash cam if you can afford one. I think it is just an absolute necessity. If you are driving a vehicle, I really think you should consider getting a dash cam. That's about it. See ya.